Hi everyone, I was shooting a video earlier today and I had to remove the iPad from its case so I could attach a thermal camera. Now unfortunately the iPad fell on the ground and the screen is smashed. Let me see if I can show you. I'm not sure how well this shows on camera, but it's completely smashed, which is really annoying. Luckily the touchscreen still works and everything else is okay, it's just that the screen is cracked. Now, I contacted a bunch of repair places and they all said pretty much the same thing. It's going to be around 6,500 pesos because apparently they can't replace just the glass, they have to replace the whole LCD. Now, if I was in China, it'd be no problem because they've got the machinery so they can replace just the glass. Much cheaper, well, it's not easier, but it's definitely much cheaper. Unfortunately here they can't do that, so today's video is about what to do when this happens. Now of course you could just get some clear tape like this and put multiple strips over the screen to protect the glass from breaking further, but it's not going to look very good, it's not going to work very well. So what I recommend is this contact paper, and you can buy this from most stationery shops. This is often used for vinyl work, it's also used to protect outsides of books, things like that. So this is what I'm recommending. So I've cut out my contact paper and I've cut it a little bit larger than the iPad itself because we want an excess that we can wrap around the other side. Now of course before you apply this you want to clean your screen. Now I've got this cleaning fluid, but you could just use alcohol or even just water. So you want to just basically give it a good clean because once you put that on you're not going to be able to clean it anymore. So I've cleaned the glass as best I can and now it's time to apply the contact paper. Now what I do is I put a bit of tape on each side of this so that I can easily peel it apart. So let me do that first. Okay, so now I've got my tape on each side. I can pull them apart and you can see that the front clear plastic separates from the rear piece. So you can see I peeled back about 1.5 inches and I'm going to apply it to the top of the screen, but of course I'm going to leave an excess overlapping because I want to wrap it around. Now hopefully you can see on camera how I've got the excess there hanging over the edge, and what I'm going to do now is use a card. This is just an old shopping card and I'm going to use that to push against this so we can avoid any bubbles. This is very similar to how you would apply a regular screen protector, and in fact you could just go out and buy a screen protector and do it like that, but this contact paper is much cheaper and eventually I do want to replace this screen, so I don't want to waste money buying a screen protector that I'm only going to use for a while and I'm going to have to rip it off when I buy a new screen. And there you go, now I've covered the front, I'm going to wrap the edges. Now this is where an x-acto knife can come in very helpful because on the corners you want to cut them diagonally so you can fold it in from every angle. Now don't worry about the power button and the speakers and everything like that, we're going to clean those up later. So once you've wrapped all of the edges around, the next thing to do is to go around with tape and to reinforce them because this sticky tape is much more sticky than this contact paper, so you really want to add extra tape on the back to make sure everything is kept securely in place. So all I'm doing is cutting strips of sticky tape and then using that to reinforce where the contact paper goes on the back of the iPad. So now I've finished securing it at the back. Hopefully you can see all the tape. Yes, it's ugly, but you won't see that once it's inside the case. So what now? Well, now we take our x-acto knife and very carefully we cut out the different parts we need. For instance, this button here I want to cut out or cut around, this power button on the top, and then the volume buttons. So there we go, that's the little circle plastic that was covering the button. Let's see if the fingerprint scanner still works. There you go, still works. Try again. Oh, my power button is stuck down, so let's cut that one out next. Okay, well it's not the neatest job ever, but I cut around the power button, the volume buttons, the home button, and the speakers and charger. And there we go, finished inside the case. Now at this point you might be thinking, well what's the point of this? Because you've still got the cracks, you can still see the cracks, you can probably still see them on camera. It's true, you can still see them, but at least now it won't get worse. You won't get little shards of glass falling off, you won't get them in your finger when you're scrolling around. It's just going to make it kind of last a little bit longer before you really have to replace the screen. And using this contact paper really makes it look better and even feel better compared to using this tape. If you had lots of strips of this, it doesn't look very good, it doesn't feel very good when you're like moving around the screen. So yeah, I'm still a bit bummed, or super bummed, that my screen is smashed. But this is the temporary solution and I thought I'd share it here on my channel. Just use some contact paper, secure it at the back with tape, and it should keep you going for a while at least. So if you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.